Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So, Virgo, tonight we have the Six of Discs, which, of course, discs are our suit. It is the earth sign, so it is our absolute alignment. And I'm happy to see that we have the Six of Discs. This is all about success. Things really not only coming together, but it's like locked in, right? Locked in and really seeing some good output. Right? Can you tell? This is like, this is really, the world of trying to have your own business. Which is, listen, if you're a Virgo and you've never had a business, I compel you to go out there, figure out, it doesn't have to be anything big. You know, you can, start a YouTube channel, right? That's what I did. But yeah, a Virgo business owner. It just seems perfect, right? So I'm hoping that that's where we're going, is that I get to find out all about your business. But if that's not the case, maybe this is career, maybe you are post-work, maybe this is about retirement, volunteering, running of the household, all kinds of different things, right? And so we're going to go ahead, I'm going to turn this bowl, we're going to see. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And I want to say thank you so much for deciding to click on this reading. I am also a Virgo, so I'm always super excited to do our Virgo readings. Find some things out for myself as well. Now we have the number 207, okay, 207. Okay. So I want to start over here. We have the house right at the center of everything. So I feel like this is definitely about some kind of domestic configuration, maybe something about how you grew up. I'm seeing multiple homes. We have one here, we have one here, we have one here. So I feel like there's been moving around, right, throughout your life. Obviously, most people at least move once or twice in their lifetime, some more, some less. But I do feel like for you, there's this real sense of like different eras of your story, right? When one part is done, it's like done. You are absolutely like wrapping it up and I'm moving on. Right? I'm not taking a lot with me. It's time to start my next life, right? And so I feel like this has happened at least 3 times. And we'll come back to this section, but I want to go over here. And I'm looking at, it looks like a person holding a stick with a little bundle on the end. So this is like that classic kind of caricature of like somebody, leaving, running away, right? I'm hitting the road, and then it's like they're walking down the railroad with this stick and their little bundle of clothes or whatever they have in there. And I feel like for you, you probably felt like you had to leave home at a fairly young age, relatively young, right? We have a person over here who's pointing, and it looks kind of nefarious in my eyes anyways, but it does feel like this very oppressive energy. It feels masculine. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was a man. It could have been a woman that was quite masculine. But whoever it was, they made you feel like you didn't belong there anymore. I feel like this was a dynamic that was very toxic. A lot of arguing and back and forth and trying to kind of vie for some kind of power or control. Maybe this is a step parent or something like that, or maybe even like a grandparent that raised you. But I do feel like there was, at least when you were young, there wasn't a ton of respect between the two of you. So I feel like you did end up probably like as soon as you could, like when you're 17, 18, 19, moving out, you know, going to school or getting a job and moving out, moving in with your boyfriend or girlfriend or, you know, whatever it was. I feel like that was kind of the first breaking away from the life you had and then taking the steps to begin the next life. And that would be your young adult years, right? So I do feel like this is something that was very empowering for you, but it's also something that maybe, you know, you lament even being in a situation where there was somebody who made you feel like you didn't belong in your own home with your own family, you know. So I feel like there is sadness around this, and maybe even some anger and resentment, which would make sense to me. We also have, it looks like a bird right here, or here, let me get the bird is here with the tail up, and then we have a nest, okay? So I do, again, this is like reiterating, leaving the nest, getting up out of there, going out on your own. Now we have, it looks like Anubis right here, and you can see the head right there, and the body would be here and sitting on a chair, okay, kind of lounging a little bit. Now over here we have, it looks like a fish that is jumping. We have, it looks like a cardinal. We have an old goat. So I feel like there is, oh, dragon, okay. I feel like last year, which was the year of the dragon, last year somebody maybe passed away. I think that you were left money. If you know about it yet or not, I don't know. But I think that you will have some kind of like an inheritance, or maybe like you were gifted something that was worth a lot of money. But I do, you know, I don't think this is like $1 billion, but you know, it's something that, and especially I don't think you were expecting it. But I do feel like this is something that if you have an idea of what you would do with it, and maybe this is where the business kind of comes in. You receive this money and you immediately, you know, just kind of start treating yourself, right? I mean, I get it. That's probably what I would be doing. But I feel like this is where we need to stop. right? And think about, what are our goals? What have we hoped for? What have we dreamed about? What things would we do if we were making this money and it was coming in more slowly, but we could put it towards something more intentionally? There's something about getting a large amount of money that just sometimes it makes you kind of squirrely, right? So I feel like it's kind of like a reminder of pumping the brakes and making sure that you're putting the money where it's going to be useful for you. Okay? If that means putting in a savings account, paying off some debt, starting that business, or, whatever it is. I do feel like this is going to be a really big blessing for you. Okay? And we also have, it looks like, the fire element. So I do see that this is going to kind of let you access a part of yourself that is super creative. And that's why I think you're going to end up being pretty successful with whatever you're going to end up doing, because finally you have the ability to put your passion and your creativity into something that you potentially could make more money doing, right? So, what is that? What would you like to do if you received some money, which I feel like you're going to? What would you do with it? I'm interested. I want to hear all the ideas. I feel that with that goat, this person maybe is a Capricorn, but I feel like it's kind of I almost wonder if they have a lot of goat statues and that kind of thing. Maybe they grew up on a farm with goats or something like this. Now, here's one of the big things. We have a hummingbird, and we also have some sheep. And so I feel like there's been some kind of vacillating between being busy, multitasking, this, that, so many projects, gotta do it, how we do as Virgos. The list. If you are a Virgo, I know that you like to make lists. So there's so much joy in checking things off of that list. But I also feel like the universe is reminding you that you need to get more sleep, better sleep, healthier sleep, possibly. Maybe you are... We all know the things they tell us to do for our sleep routine. But, sometimes you end up watching videos on your phone up until you're falling asleep, and we're not supposed to have the blue light and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like this is a reminder to kind of at least take a day or two in the next week and then the week after that, and make sure that you're getting restorative sleep, going to bed early, whatever that means for you, whenever early is. Going to bed early, unwinding before you go to sleep, letting yourself go to sleep as naturally as you can, and hopefully getting into that REM sleep and being able to have that kind of restorative quality. It's amazing how I'll just say it about myself. I can't speak for other people, but I have things going on. I'm on the spectrum. I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD. CPTSD, and so on and so forth, right? I'm really fun at a party. When I'm not getting good sleep, when I have gone like 3, 4, 5 days on little sleep, or interrupted constantly, or there's some amount of sleep deprivation, like I have a 4-year-old, so we just kind of came from that newborn zone, right? And that was that was hard. But the sleep, it really, I find myself having so much more trouble regulating my moods, my emotions, my, focus on things, and generally just being motivated and completing things, doing them the right way. All of it gets thrown out of whack, and my executive dysfunction really starts to show up, right? So making sure that you are getting sleep. Every once in a while, the universe will say, hey, it's time for you to kind of slow down and take a rest. And then we don't listen. And then they have to send us tea leaves and say, hey, it's time for you to try to get some good sleep this week. All right, let's see what's going on over here. So we have a person sitting right here, and we have 2, 2, 2, repeating 2s. We do, again, have anxiety, it seems like, but I don't feel like this is necessarily a bad thing. I think that this is you happy, but also anxious. And here's the thing about Virgos, and you hear this about us from others. They might be haters a little bit, but sometimes it's hard to tell with a Virgo, like when we're happy, excited versus like stressed, anxious. Like they kind of look similar, and sometimes even when we're super happy, we can be like kind of snippy, or short-tempered, or just kind of like we stop talking, we're just really into the moment. And so I feel like for this, it seems to be, you have all this great stuff, all this like opportunity, like really, really showing up on your doorstep, right? And that's exciting, but it also means change. And it also means a lot of work. And it also means dedication and consistency, and so on and so forth. And of course, we love all these things, but it also is a lot. It's a lot to take on. So I feel you kind of having that anxiousness, but you're not going to fold under pressure. I know that. This is about taking that time to just kind of clear your mind, let yourself feel how you feel, and then let it go, and make a plan. What are we good at, Virgos? Making plans, 100%. We're really good at making plans. So get to work on it. Start making a plan. Details, right? And I feel like that is what is going to help you really feel like you're more in control of the situation. The less unknown, the better. Okay? Now, we have the number 29 as well. Okay? Now look at that. That hasn't happened in a while. Sometimes. Sometimes it does, though. Whew, I missed it. Missed the little plate, the salsa. All right. Now we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 49, 38, 11. Okay. And we're going to do indigo sage affirmation cards. Okay. And I'm just going to flip through, stop where it feels right. And it says, number 8, by the way, you are deeply loved. Be silently present with old trees. Earth has magical energy for your healing. Earth has magical energy for your healing. Yes, more of that earth energy. All right, Virgo, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor for me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Other than that, I'll say again, I love you. I love you. I love you. Please take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night.